Hey friends, welcome back. I am so excited today to go over some of the signs that you're going to see when you're going through a spiritual awakening. And I just have to say, when you start to experience some of these things firsthand, everything starts to change. You grow a deeper understanding of who you are as a person, that all of this truly does exist. And now I wish that I could share a lot of my stories about what I've been through specifically to help you guys see how powerful some of the therapy that I do with my clients is, and how amazing spiritual awakening truly is for your own soul and purpose. I don't have time for that, but I am going to try to add in a couple, and let's go ahead and jump right into some of the signs that you're going to notice when you're going through your spiritual awakening. You're going to start to notice that your daily life just starts to feel more vibrant. You start to create this heightened sense of awareness that maybe you didn't have before. That might look like going through your day and just being more aware of what's going on around you and your surroundings. You're less internally talking, the internal chatter is quiet, and the external world is louder, which makes people watching, just understanding what's going on around you, observing the world, even just enjoying a moment becomes so much easier. With a heightened sense of awareness, you're able to go to a beach or go to the mountains and just sit and relax, and your mind isn't just chattering. You're able to go lay in bed and actually just sit and reflect with yourself and notice how your body's feeling or how you're feeling versus all the thoughts that usually go through your head. You start to notice that you have more areas that you didn't have before. I would consider myself somebody who lacked empathy. I would say that I felt deeply, but with all the misplaced anger that I had within and sadness, I wasn't sure how to actually verbalize that and use it correctly. And so it came off as very harsh and controlling, where in return, I was just really hurt and sad on the inside. And when I started to notice that my ability to feel compassionate, to look at other people's opinions, to be able to see a different perspective, I was really excited for myself, because those were things that I once wasn't able to do that became so much easier and almost like a normal part of my daily life now. And one of my favorite things that happens is that you grow this deeper intuition, like a real knowing, a trust. And a big problem that I focus on with my clients is that they don't have trust within. They feel like they're missing something, like they don't know if the goal that they're going after is right, or if the action they're taking is going to give them the results. And when you start to go down your journey and create that self-trust and compassion, your intuition just shoots through the roof. You hear internally what you want. You know what is the right thing to do. And when you can start to step into that intuition, you start to flow with life. Everything just starts collaborating and working with you. Sometimes you might even just know something without any logic. I would say that that's kind of how my brain works. I just know, I sense, and sometimes I don't have to have any background data or information. It's just the knowing within my heart what the right answer or choice is. It's almost like a little voice in your head that's speaking to you. And just so you guys know, a big way you can tell if it's intuition or not is if it makes you feel good when you think about it. Or when it makes you feel safe when you think about it. A good example might be, let's say you are walking home alone and you feel like in your heart it's not a good idea to do that. Maybe listen, because it feels better to listen to that than not to listen to it. Does that make sense? Our intuition is also going to lead us to make decisions that connect us to our higher purpose. And so you're going to notice that these intuitive pings or these intuitive messages are getting you closer to meeting people. A good example is I just went on a retreat, and during that retreat I met some amazing souls that I would have never met otherwise, and this transcended me into doing a lot of things that I wasn't able to do on my own until I met this group of people. And I could have said no to my intuition, but there was a part of me that needed to go, and I said, you know what, whatever money it is, however much time I have to give to this, I'm going to commit to this, because there's something within me that knows I have to say yes. And so that's what I mean. It's almost like the universe is speaking through us. It's showing us what the next step is. It's showing us our path. And whenever you can start to step on that path, life just starts to work with you so well, and you're going to be amazed how many weird synchronicities are happening around you. Which kind of leads me into another part of this. You're going to notice that there's going to be signs, synchronicities, and just experiences that feel like they have to be related. And I think they are. And so with manifestation, you can start to envision what you want. And as it's coming to you, you can ask for signs, you can ask for synchronicities. And what that might look like is, let's say you're meditating and journaling and you want to call something in, you don't know what decision to make. So then you ask the universe for a sign, and you can look for that sign. You might also notice synchronicities, such as, I went on that trip and I noticed immediately how good I felt. And then I started noticing the conversations I was having. And when I got home, it was like piece after piece after piece after piece started falling in. And those are going to be those synchronicities, those little like, hey, you're on the right path type things. You might notice that there's double meanings. You might hear the same message 2, 3, 4 times within the same day or the same week. You might notice things that you once wanted to come your way, or something you asked for is just appearing in front of you in a small way. And those are so magical and so exciting when they're happening. And if you're truly practicing spiritual awakening, you're going to be able to see those things. Because here's the thing, those things are always happening around you when you were in your normal thinking, or maybe even for you right now. But you're not able to see them because you're not practicing the awareness and the gratitude to be able to grasp those things and pull them in and start to use them. A really great sign that you're going down a path of spiritual awakening is your emotional resilience. Like I mentioned before, I was not able to handle challenging situations with grace. I would usually either explode or be angry or find a way to displace my emotion and put it onto another person. So I would project my feelings. And when you start to go through this, our emotions go from feeling so heavy and dark to feeling just lighter, like they don't have that control over you like they once did. And that makes facing adversities and challenges and tough situations so much easier. So something that used to kick you and push you down now might barely affect you. You might not even notice it anymore. You might be able to acknowledge, hey, that used to really upset me and now I feel nothing. Which is such a cool thing to experience when you used to feel so controlled by an emotion, to know that you have control over your emotions. You also accept that, the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the positive and the negative, they're all a part of the human experience. And there's really not much you can do to try to stop one from happening. And so it's all about acceptance. And that emotional resilience allows you to just see the reality for what it is, reality in that moment, and then be able to move past it with a lot of love for yourself and compassion. Your empathy is also going to skyrocket. Kind of like I mentioned, you're going to want to do more for people. You're going to want to show up differently. You're going to want to start to volunteer and give your time and money and effort to make other people feel good. Because helping other people feel good makes you feel good, makes you feel happy within. You will start creating all these ripples of positivity and opportunity. You'll notice that people will tell you that they like your energy, that they had to come up to you and just talk to you, that thank you for being a light in their life. And that's because you're able to give them an emotion that a lot of this world, like 95% of society isn't giving in their day-to-day life. And as we develop a deeper sense of compassion, we're going to be able to help people a lot deeper. And that is just going to make us feel so much more worthy of our purpose, because we're finally moving towards something. Tony Robbins always says that if you're not donating at least 10% of your money, time, and energy to somebody in need, then you're not doing it right. And I really agree with that. If you're not spending time giving parts of yourself to help other people, even if it's just responding to a DM or a message, or sending a nice, or calling somebody and just reminding them how much you love them or happy birthday, then you're not really doing your part, and it makes sense why you might feel a little off. One that really has confused me is that you lose the allure of materialism. So things that I used to want, that I used to need, that I used to think I'd have to do to be accepted or to fit in, I don't want anymore. For instance, I used to get Botox on parts of my face because society has shown us, hey, you need that to fit in, you need that to look young and pretty. And as I went through my spiritual awakening, I have stopped using a lot of products and things that I used to think I need, even buying certain things. Now, if my true self wants something, I can differentiate with my intuition what I want, and nothing's right or wrong or good or bad. So whatever I choose is right for me. But what you will notice is that those things that you realize that you thought you really wanted, you don't really care about anymore. And that's a very odd feeling to once have wanted something so deeply to then not really need it anymore. There's a part of me now that wishes I can just let a lot of this go, live in a van, and just live in nature, because there's a part of me that doesn't really feel attached to any of this anymore like I used to. You notice that the pursuit of peace and happiness is more important than any external motivation or materialism that you can ever receive. And another one of my favorites is the connection you start to feel with nature. I remember in the beginning of my spiritual journey, I also went on my first national park trip. And guys, I feel like going on national park trips while I was on my spiritual awakening was beyond important. It gave me this sense of profound peace and calmness that I've never felt before. Being able to connect with nature, to ground myself, to understand that there's so much more to life than what we perceive was just such an interesting experience. And words cannot put to meaning what I felt, and it's hard for me to even explain. Something you just have to experience for yourself. You just have these senses now that pick up the rustle of leaves, the chirps of the birds, the warmth on your skin. You're able to be present in nature and enjoy all of the beauty that it has to give. All right, I hope that this gave you a little bit more insight into how spiritual awakening is going to start to show up in your day-to-day life. You're going to see it through signs and synchronicities, through your actions, your emotional resilience, your ability to connect with nature and listen to your own higher self. And with all that being said, everyone's journey is different. There's going to be parts that you connect with quicker and parts that are a little bit more challenging. But I did create a 5-day journal prompt exercise that's free on my website at beingbecomes.com. I'll go ahead and link it below. And that will allow you to go a little bit deeper daily into some of the things you need to identify about yourself to create a deeper connection to your own spiritual journey and awakening. If you're interested in that, go ahead and grab it up. And if you have any other questions, let us know in the comments below. Go ahead and give me a like and a share to anybody who needs to hear this. And until next time, thanks guys.